Alright guys, welcome to Vincent Kane's non-review review. Today, I've got a few thoughts brewing about the second season of The Last of Us. Now let me just preface this by saying I don't always jump on the bandwagon with the latest hype. That is to say, I was in the minority of people who weren't super impressed with the series when Season 1 of The Last of Us was getting rave reviews from audiences and critics alike back in 2023 when it debuted. I thought the series as a whole was alright, a good 7 out of 10, with some very memorable moments. However, the hype online might make you think it was 9.8 out of 10, when it really wasn't. Granted, I have never played the game, which might explain my different perspective. Because the fans of the game really loved that it seemed to stay faithful to the plotline or storyline of the game. I had a similar sentiment about Game of Thrones during its 8-year run. I really enjoyed the first season for what it was. Like everyone else, I was very confused and extremely shocked that the main character was actually killed. I remember watching the final episode of the first season of Game of Thrones, believing that Ned Stark naturally had the plot armor of every main character which has ever existed. I waited and watched for something to stop his death, and yet he died. I remember being so confused. Now that was some good TV. The problem was the subsequent seasons caused me to become unfocused. I couldn't find my anchor. I couldn't find my main character to root for until, of course, Khaleesi became established as the main character and later Jon Snow. In addition, the subsequent seasons felt very slow to me. I didn't like that. What kept me going was the eventual shocking betrayal or killing, like the Red Wedding or Joffrey's brutal poisoning or the brutal way Oberyn Martell's head was crushed after we were made to believe he had won the fight, or Jon Snow's death. You see, these were very exciting events, but the moments between them were incredibly boring for me. So when the final season came around and people started complaining, I was like, yep, I told you it's good, but it's not as great as the hype indicates. This is my exact same feeling with The Last of Us. They're telling a good story with a ton of what the writers believe is good character development, but it's not a great story which deserves the extreme hype Season 1 got. Now in Season 2, everyone seems to be complaining about how the writing quality has dropped, and people keep talking about Ellie's bad acting when they actually don't like her because she's not easy on the eyes. Now, that last part actually makes me very sad. Bella Ramsey may not be performing well as an actor according to people's standards, but the constant online bullying was just too much. I mean, is this what humanity is? That we could possibly bully someone for just doing their job into suicidal ideation? I think that maybe the bullies are young people, teenagers, and young adults who don't like how she looks, but the constant bullying is very unacceptable. We're not helping the collective karma of mankind here. That being said, yeah, this season was not the best, and yeah, the cringy dialogue is a thing. When Ellie says, "I'm gonna be a dad," it was so jarring and felt out of place, like they were never going to even consider talking about it with the actual father, Jesse, first. I mean, there was a 55% drop in the season finale's viewership as compared to Season 1's season finale. Needless to say, a lot of people hated this season and stopped watching mid-season. Despite my criticism of the show, I think it ended on a good cliffhanger, but too many seem to have checked out for it to matter. A lot of people are also complaining about the 2-year wait time between seasons, but that is another issue with all TV shows now, so we'll talk about that later. In the meantime, if you're looking for great sci-fi and fantasy, check out Champions of the Gods by Vincent Kane and its prologue, Shadow Parthenogenesis, on Amazon.com. Humanity finds itself on the brink as mysterious cosmic forces unleash chaos upon the world. As societal unrest escalates and the very fabric of reality is threatened, ordinary individuals are drawn into an extraordinary conflict. Chosen by divine beings, these reluctant champions must confront the source of this escalating violence, battling not only external threats but also the darkness that rises within. The fate of Earth, and potentially the multiverse, rests on their shoulders as they navigate a perilous contest for ultimate dominion. So if you're looking for a book that's epic in scope and filled with action, intrigue, and cosmic stakes, give it a try. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.